he did not throw the ball away. And they are 4 out of 5, now 4 out of 6 with that miss along the baseline.
Briganich with the rebound. He's had a 3, good outside shooter. Not too many shot clock violations by LIU.
Reminiscent of Loyola Marymount from a few years ago under Paul Westhead. LIU averaging 91 points per game. They take the first good shot, or sometimes it isn't even a good shot. First shot they have a chance to hoist up, they usually do. John Celestin, a runner for Villanova. He has 4. And the Cats are even with the Blackbirds of Long Island University. Traveling the call.
They don't take much time. Get it up and drill it.
10-10 the score. Back on CBS in a moment.
Priority. Switch to Priority Mail from the U.S.
Pat O'Brien and Clark Kellogg here in New York. The story of the tournament so far, those who are rebounding well have won in this tournament today, and an 8-9 game coming up here in a couple of minutes, Rhode Island and Purdue. You've been waiting for this game.
Yeah, this is an heck of a matchup. You talk about Tyson Wheeler for Rhode Island. Purdue is a young team, but their young players have played well of late. Their poise will be key in that game.
All right, for those of you expecting Illinois and Iowa State, we'll get you to that tip at 3:13, Illinois State. And we'll send you right now to Tim Ryan and Al McGuire. They're in Memphis. They're in the building at courtside, an 8-9 game, Rhode Island and Purdue. Enjoy the game. We'll see you at halftime.
Back here in the Pyramid, Memphis, Tennessee, Southeast region. First round action. This is our second game of the day. Tim Ryan and Al McGuire watching Rhode Island against Purdue. Earlier, Kansas, the top-ranked team, defeated Jackson State handily. They await the winner of this matchup between Purdue of the Big Ten, Rhode Island of the Atlantic 10. This evening, Maryland College of Charleston, followed by Arizona and South Alabama. Well, hello again, everyone. Tim Ryan with Al McGuire here. We've got a good matchup, 8 against 9. Usually falls that way, Al, the way they were seated. You've got a young, aggressive team in Purdue. You've got a team that can shoot in Rhode Island.
The decision on the game, who's going to win this game, whoever plays the other team's style. Obviously, Purdue wants to bang down low, play big D, and keep a slower tempo. Where Rhode Island wants to be like a quarter horse. They want to get it going. So whatever style's played out there, that's the team that's going to win.
Now, there are some star players here, too. Chad Austin of Purdue, and watch for Wheeler of Rhode Island. Al Skinner will have his young man firing away out there. Tyson Wheeler, the guard. Al Skinner in his 9th season with an overall record over 50%. And his lineup features Ibn Hashim Bakari and Antonio Reynolds Dean up front with a 7-footer, Michael Anderson in the backcourt, Katina Mobley joining Tyson Wheeler. Gene Cady, 17th year at Purdue. They won 3 Big Ten championships in a row before finishing in a tie for second this year. One of the great coaches in college basketball, always competitive teams. Brian Cardinal will work up front with big Brad Miller, the 6'11 center, and the freshman guard, Jerron Cornell, joining Alan Eldridge and Chad Austin in a 3-guard offense. Our officials today, Andre Patillo, Richie Ballesteros, and Mike Wood. Rhode Island in powder blue uniforms, looking very spiffy in the gold of Purdue.
That powder blue is awfully close to the sky blue, the Tar Heels of North Carolina.
Well, Rhode Island would like to have their success. 20-9 are the Rams on the season. An at-large entry from the Atlantic 10. They're in their 6th NCAA championship. They were last in it in 1993, losing to Carolina. University of North Carolina in the 2nd round. For Purdue, they were here a year ago in the tournament, losing to Georgia in the 2nd round, coming out as the champions of the Big Ten.
Solid man-to-man by Purdue, the Boilers.
Big man Anderson, native of Denmark.
Clock is down to 5.
And it's finally launched and landed by Antonio Reynolds Dean, the sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. Rams open the scoring. And Miller, Brad Miller, the 6'11 junior from Kendallsville, Indiana. Now working down low. And Miller is fouled.
Big question in this is always what Miller is showing up. Some games he's out of sight. He breaks through the sound barriers. Other games he plays very soft.
Reynolds Dean picks up the first personal of the ball game. We're just underway here in Memphis at the Pyramid. Boilermakers the 8 seed, Rhode Island the 9 seed.
This year, this fella's improved his board play. He's a strong banger down low.
Miller shoots 79% from the line. And makes one of two.
It's a sign of a good game when both teams get on the scoreboard before the 1 minute mark.
Boston showing a little pressure down court for Purdue in the opening minute. This is Wheeler. He's the point guard who can shoot. Mobley and Miller at Wheeler. Pass underneath. Rebounded. Michael Anderson. 4-1 Rhode Island lead. Cardinal hits from the baseline.
That's not his shot, so he's off to the races.
A sophomore from Tolono, Illinois. Push on the inside. Cornell picks up his first. Al Skinner signals into play to Rhode Island. They'll inbound it with Mobley. 4-3 Rhode Island lead. Wheeler driving the paint, dishes out. Loose ball is grabbed by Purdue. Miller quickly up court now. Eldridge to the wing.
Wheeler should have taken that shot himself. He was too tight. He just dropped it down too late.
Cardinal driving.
Anderson cannot guard Cardinals. He doesn't have the foot speed.
Ryan Cardinal averaging 10.5 points a game. And that is Michael Anderson.
Little kiss off the glass that time.
4 points for him.
Boy, they're big bodies down low.
Miller, bounce pass underneath from Cardinal, and travel call as he shuffled his feet.
Miller might have created them shuffling his feet with a hip touch then. It looks to me, I don't know what the weight of Miller is, but I would say way over 300.
Big man at 6'11", the junior from Kendallsville, Indiana. That one picked off by Cardinal. Cardinals bounce pass, and that's something you'll see a lot of. He and Miller just have a feel for each other and pass the ball effectively, one to the other.
Biggest thing in feeding the post position is a bounce pass off an angle.
Anderson picks up his first personal.
You young players out there, guys and girls, bounce pass is the best thing for interior passing. Wouldn't have been a foul, but Anderson came down with the arm, an automatic call.
Brad Miller at the line. Well, as we said earlier, a 79% free throw shooter. He's got 2 points. Eldridge goes out. And Mike Robinson, number 32, comes in, the freshman from Peoria, Illinois.
Dreams of being another big dog. That's Glenn Robinson that went to the Milwaukee Bucks for $68 million.
McQuay into the lineup for Purdue as well. Gary McQuay, number 5. Yet another freshman on this young Purdue team. He's from Gary, Indiana.
You know what? Gene Katie might be doing his best coaching job ever in the 17 years he's been at the Purdue.
A young squad. Anderson's turnaround won't go. Had more room than he realized and rushed his shot. Nobody on him. Purdue by 1, and they have the ball. Cornell for 3. Out the iron, rebounded by Bakari. Wheeler back quickly. Deep to the wing. And a 3, buried by Mobley. Catino Mobley, number 12, the junior from Philadelphia.
Nickname is the Cat.
Cardinal foul as he tried the short jumper in the lane.
Purdue has to get Chad Austin into the game. He's the star. Get the ball in tournament play in the star's hands.
Mobley picked up his first personal as we see Al Skinner and Gene Katie Early going here in Memphis. Cardinal to the line. Cardinal looks like he just came out of the MASH unit there with all of the bandages and wraps he's wearing.
Well, they have a lot of nicknames for him. One should be Band-Aid, but he dives for balls all over the court. A couple more wraps and he'd be a mummy.
That left elbow problem apparently will need surgery at the end of the season. And he's got wraps on his knees and both elbows, and he gets a rest for his pain.
Fans love him in West Lafayette.
Yeah, they call him Citizen Pain. 6 points for Cardinal. 9-9 the score. Wheeler. Anderson inside. Basket will count.
Good feed by Wheeler.
6 points for him.
Watch down here. They got it blocked down low. A couple of people will collapse on him, and he still gets his shot off. He's just such a space eater. Even being a little bit over 7 foot, the size of him makes him about 7'4", 7'5".
Foul was on Robinson, his first. And Rhode Island by 3. Miller puts the ball on the floor and then kicks it back for Cornell.
1-3-1 zone.
Austin Cornell, his shot missing, and it's going to be Rhode Island ball.
G's upset on that. Didn't analyze the zone before they played. That was a 1-3-1. Got to attack it slow.
15:44 to go first half. Rhode Island by 3.
This is the first trip to the NCAA tournament in 13 years for the LIU Blackbirds, but they have a proud history, and one of the great coaches in the history of the game was Claire Bede. Winning percentage of nearly 82%, best of all time. He's regarded as the originator of the 1-3-1 zone and the 3-second rule.
And a great pal of Bob Knight's, I might add. Pick Picarella was his longtime assistant. They were wonderful teams in, I guess, the late 40s and early 50s.
John Celestin called for his first foul.
Just to complete the LIU coaching, Roy Rubin did a wonderful job there, Paul Izzo. And the tradition lives under Ray Haskins.
Wow.
He'll be saying that a lot. He is extremely confident in his offensive productivity.
Well, bouncing, spinning, and then missing the shot. Villanova with the ball up 3. Celestin, the miss, but the tip in. T.J. Cowett just off the bench for Villanova, number 50, a freshman from Winthrop, Maine. Gives the Cats a 5-point lead.
And with that zone, you don't have the checkout responsibilities. Good read by Cowett. Straight up man-to-man.
And a strong move inside, but the shot wouldn't fall for Corinne Smith, who's checked in wearing number 35 for LIU. They go right into Lawson, and that's just too tough a matchup for Picketing.
They run the floor beautifully, and he posts up. If they can find him, great. If not, he reads the ball side.
This is the largest lead of the game for Villanova. 7 points nearly midway through the first half. Jones to Picketing. Picketing's out of North Bergen, New Jersey, out of North Bergen High School. First player from that school to receive a Division I basketball scholarship since Dan Calandrillo. Some coach at Seton Hall gave Dan Calandrillo a scholarship.
Lucky enough.
Back in the late 70s.
Pretty good handle by the big guy. Dan Calandrillo, Matt Pickett, Steve Greco, 3 kids as Thomas gets an open look. Another great Jersey player.
Three-pointer for Thomas, a 36% three-point shooter. He has 7, and the lead grows to 10 for Villanova. Picketing, he's not bashful. There's a 3. We'll call that a Picketing basket.
No blanket. It's in the genes, though. His cousin Matt liked to drill him, too. You got to get out. They stretch things. If they ever had an inside game, Sean.
Wow, charge, no question about it. Alvin Williams lowered his head and shoulder and ran right into Karim Smith. 2 fouls on Williams.
And he knew right away. He's looking over at Steve Lapis. You got to jump, stop, be in control. But I think the ratty type of basketball by the press causes that situation. You lose your head, you lose control, you end up with a turnover.
Howard Brown back in for Villanova. Williams on the bench with the 2 fouls.
Now let Celestin run the point totally now.
Mike Campbell, he was first team All Northeast Conference this year, and he can score at 19 points per game. Muskelly, high arcing 3.
That's fading away at what, 5'8"? Unconcerned, undeterred.
Well, we saw Princeton, and they're fun to watch for reasons the country is well aware of with their style. A couple of missiles come in close after the steal. Muskelly and Jones each missed a short one, then a foul called on Villanova on the follow-up action. It's on Chuck Cornegay, his first, and Steve Lapis can't believe the call.
Well, the quick hands, the ability to turn it over, and the little guy in tight with a great look. Initially, it looked like he had that thing blocked, but a good read by Muskelly.
Actually, a pass off from our vantage point looked like it was deflected off. Quick 3. Charles Jones patting himself on the back.
Would you let the shot clock operator go out for lunch? They don't need him.
20-second timeout called by Villanova. Well, the threes from everywhere for the Blackbirds, and just as quickly as you can say Blackbirds, they're from 10 points down to within 1 with 8:51 left in the first half. And I started to say it's fun to watch Princeton because they're so methodical and their system is run so effectively. And then you watch LIU, it's entirely different. They run up the floor, they take the first shot. What a contrast.
Which would you rather play?
I think I'd rather play LIU, and either one is fun to watch, and even though they are dramatically different.
How about Muskelly, nicknamed the Bayonne Bomber? Chuck Wepner was known as that, the Bayonne Bleeder,
right?
As a heavyweight. But Bayonne, a rich tradition in Hudson County basketball, and Joe Palermo was telling me how confident he is. He gives them a real lift when he's on the floor.
Shot by Thomas well off, but Cowett able to pick a free ball off the floor. 9 straight points by LIU. Brown a miss. Thomas, well, we're seeing the size advantage being taken advantage of by Villanova. Tim Thomas has 9.
So your point on Princeton versus LIU style, both tries to impose their will. If you are Villanova, you can't get caught up in that running up and down. You got to be sound once you beat the press.
Richie Parker missed a 3. Mike Campbell wins the jump ball. And the putback brings the Blackbirds back within 1 with 8 minutes left in the first half.
He doesn't get much ink, but he's a solid offensive player. Can hit the 3, strong around. With dribble moves going to the goal.
These two teams have already scored. Block ball on Muskelly, and he thought Celestin pushed him away. But these two teams have already scored more points in the first half than Cal and Princeton did in their entire first half.
Tiger.
Tim Ryan, Al McGuire here in Memphis, Rhode Island, up by 6 over Purdue in the first half, 11:40 remaining, game 2 here. This afternoon, Brad Miller of Purdue with 8 points, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, and a rebound. Has made his presence felt. 10 points make it for Brad Miller.
Got the situation here now where Rhode Island is trying to build up the tempo more and pushing up court. A 2-2-1 pressure zone. It gives, it doesn't attack, it kind of bends. It is now broken. Let's see what they go into. No, they stay in the zone, 2-3 zone. Now you got to analyze it, be patient, look for the outside shot, got to put a man in the middle.
Robinson in the backcourt with Austin and Eldridge. And it'll be Purdue ball off the hands of the Rams with a fresh clock. Thomas, Murphy, Mobley, King, and Arabatu will line up on the floor for the Rams. McQuay with a good follow, but missed his shot. Purdue keeps it alive, and finally it drops. Mike Robinson gets credit for it. 4-point game, Rhode Island on top.
giving Wheeler a maybe a 60-second blow.
Thomas in traffic. Rams keep it alive. And Murphy's shot bounces around. Tip-in try misses. Murphy in again. This time he makes. Murphy.
Too much quickness off the feet of Rhode Island. Where Purdue's trying to box you out, Rhode Island's just going to the hoop.
Rebounded by Catino Mobley. Murphy watched by Chad Austin. Bounce pass to King. His turnaround misses. Purdue comes away. Good try by Robinson. Couldn't quite reach back far enough to make that one stick.
Good athletic move. The pass was not near excellence, not even close.
Babu fouled underneath. Looks like might be Gilvitas. Gilvitas picks up his first personal. Paul Gilvitas, a senior from Farmington Hills, Michigan.
He's expendable. He's just in there to neutralize, pick up 1 or 2 fouls, and let Miller or let Cardinal have a rest.
Cardinal and Miller on the floor now. Austin, Cornell, and Robinson, the lineup for Purdue. Babu gets his first points. An 8-point margin now for the Rams. Cornell inside for Miller, and a steal nicely anticipated by Wheeler. There's the pass for Murphy, and Murphy lost it. Cardinal reaching from behind to grab it.
Another bad pass. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson put passing back in basketball, and it seems the last couple of years the kids are taking it back out.
Miller had it knocked out of his hands, but it'll be Purdue ball.
Here's the pass, a little bit too high and not towards the basket. Excellent steal.
Watermakers in possession, 9 minutes to go. Down by 8 first half.
Need a basket right here.
Purdue finished tied for second in the Big Ten this season. Seeded number 8 here in this Memphis portion of the Southeast Regional.
That's the second time Robinson done that. He took a rebound and put it back in because you have inside position when you're playing against the zone. It's one of the weaknesses of the zone. The baseline, your opponent can get in front of you in the baseline.
Mike Robinson's 6th point. The freshman from Peoria.
Something happens now. Wheeler has the ball.
Wheeler tries for 3, short. It'll be Purdue ball when we return with 7:59 to go in the first half. Rhode Island 28, Purdue 22.
Tiger. New York studios watching the games along with you. Hope you're enjoying the tournament. Villanova leads by 1. Let's take you around the country and begin in Salt Lake City. Valparaiso and Boston College. It's a 12-5 game. Valparaiso leads 35-28.
Boston College has struggled partly because Bryce Drew has been on fire from behind the three-point line. Right now, though, BC in the midst of a mini run, and Valpo's going to take a timeout to try to regroup here.
BC in the white, there's Valpo, and I have the feeling that BC's experience is not going to let them fall too far behind in this game.
They've got excellent backcourt play. Scooney Penn and Dwayne Woodward really play well together as a backcourt.
Oh, we caught a timeout there. Let's a little promo for CBS Sports Line there. Let's go up to Memphis. And in the Southeast, Rhode Island and Purdue also in a timeout. But let's talk about this game for a couple of seconds. 28-25 in a classic 8-9 game.
Again, both of these teams have good size up front, good athletic backcourts. This is going to be a game that's going to be won from the game within the game. Free throws, rebounding, turnovers, and three-point shooting. Whichever team is able to control 1 or 2 of those areas is going to probably come out on top.
28-25, Purdue in gold. Rhode Island, one of the A-10 record, 5 teams in the field of 64. Rhode Island beat Glenn Robinson, the big dog in Purdue, in an 8-9 game 4 years ago.
Well, this is a team that wants some respect, doesn't feel like it gets the respect it deserves. No better way to do that than to get a win early.
6:49 to the half there, and a 3-point game. Now in Auburn Hills, down at the Palace, another timeout. This seems to be the timeout section of our broadcast. That's okay. We'll talk some hoops. Illinois State and Iowa State, an 11-6 game, and it's 12-4 Illinois State.
Illinois State, very young team, no seniors, balanced. They do it by committee. Rico Hill is their main scoring star, but they've got a number of other guys that can put numbers up. And Iowa State, despite being good defensively, Pat, they've struggled on occasion at the offensive end of the floor and only had 4 points in the first 4 minutes so far today.
Iowa State starting 5 seniors. Illinois State, not a senior on the team, but they're on a 12-0 run here. All right, we'll take a timeout and go back to Sean McDonough and Bill Raftery. Long Island, Villanova. It's a 1-point game, 2:30 to the half. See you later.
While you were away looking at other games, Mike Campbell and Karim Smith each scored a bucket for LIU. Tim Thomas scored on the lob for Villanova. It's LIU by 1. Make it 3. Dunk by Jones.
Well, Jones close to the rim, maybe for the first time all evening, been settling for that deep 3. They are as good as Villanova, turning turnovers into goals.
Thomas missed the layup. Bodies fly in the rebound action, and a foul on Jason Lawson. Charles Jones with 16 points already here in the first half, the nation's leading scorer, leading LIU to the 3-point lead. LIU with 6 3-point field goals already. And Villanova's had a decided edge inside and in rebounding, but not enough to lead the Blackbirds.
LIU in the open floor is creating all the havoc, getting the game at the pace they want. You have guys with unbelievable range, so not only can they make the 3, but they're able to get that foul line situation, beat you with the dribble, puts a lot of stress on your defense. Steve Lapis has played quite a bit of zone this half to try and control them.
Campbell missed the front end of a 1-and-1, and a jump shot buried by John Celestin. He's a sophomore from Piscataway, New Jersey. He has 6 points. And a 3 rims out for Campbell. Ahead of the pack, Lawson the dunk.
And you can see the lack of spirit getting back defensively there by LIU. A couple of gambles in the open floor. That's one of those cases, well, if they get the deuce, let them go. We're going to get it back. Wow. They're catching their breath. The Blackbirds in the first major upset of the day. Running some shot clock. Ray's trying to decide which guy I'm going to set up for the deep one. They don't have a trusted post guy. So the philosophy is one where their speed can run down the deep shots. Villanova leads by a point. 5 seconds on the shot clock now as the ball went out of bounds. 1:08 left in the half. Also 1 minute left in the half in Salt Lake. Boston College, another Big East team, down by 7 to Valpo. I was wondering why Jones was taking it out, by the way. That would have been a major mistake with only 5 on the clock. My goodness. Long 3, and then the long rebound over the head of Campbell, and it's Williams to lay it in. With 1 minute left in the half, it's Villanova by 3. You don't make the 3, you got to get those long rebounds. The other club can counter. Apparently the Blackbirds are tired. That's really the only reason that we know of why they take the air out of the ball. LIU 6 of 22 from 3-point range. They average 29 3-point attempts per game, so they're most of the way there already in the first half. Karim Smith missed in close, battling Lawson to get it back, held ball. And it'll be LIU ball with 26 and a half left. Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Pat and Clark will get you updated on all the tournament news, all the scores and highlights, live looks at other action going on in the NCAA tournament. That's all coming up on Pennzoil at the half. Well, despite the held ball, they did not reset the shot clock. Apparently they said Lawson never had possession of the ball. Exactly. They're going to say that it stays the same because it was good defense. So the ability to dribble is something that they don't have a post game, so they use the bounce to get close to the goal.
Question about the shot clock. As LIU was shooting with time running out, then this held ball.
Yeah, and they got to keep it the same. No possession. It would punish Villanova otherwise. But look at the ability to beat you, and that's the big guy.
And they had to take a quick shot. And another.
He's ready for commercials.
Charles Jones, he may get the hook. Well, no, it's Picanic who's coming out. In favor of Corey Goodall. Alvin Williams back in for Villanova. Villanova can hold for the final shot of the half. Mike Campbell has come out of the ball game for LIU.
There'll be no hooking Charles Jones, incidentally. I mean, he's completely confident, and they're letting him be in control.
Wow, they didn't hold for the last shot of the half. Thomas took a shot with 15 seconds left. Shot clock off. LIU out of character these last 3 possessions, and they've struggled while running clock. Goodall for 3. The tip wouldn't go at the buzzer. And Villanova with a late run has taken a 5-point lead at halftime. At the end of the first half, Villanova 48, Long Island University 43. Pat O'Brien and Clark Kellogg will be along from New York with Pennzoil at the half. After this message and a word from your local station.
Of 9 from the line. The big man has been beat up down low, and he has 13 points for Purdue, kind of carrying them on their back. Chad Austin, meanwhile, 1 of 7 from the field, their leading scorer. Well, Roy Williams, Matt Doherty from the coaching staff of Kansas. Watching here, they will meet the winner of this team, the Jayhawks, Arababu.
Both teams are in a 1-1.
Chad Austin, we mentioned, 1 of 7 from the field.
Dodged the bullet that time.
That's got to be hurting him. He averages 17 a game.
1997 NCAA tournament, 2 games underway, 2 games at halftime. Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, live action after this word and a message from your local station.
Everybody on. And then move. You eye the ball into your hands in any sport.
Arababu giving Anderson a rest again for Rhode Island. Wheeler behind the screen. Good pass for Arababu, and he is fouled. Tried to go up with it. That'll be the second on Cornell. Ron Cornell, the freshman from South Bend, and we're now in the 1-1 for Rhode Island.
Well, Tyson Wheeler, he throws those passes. They got smoke on him. He cuts right through and gets them down really low around the blocks each time.
The left-hander, the junior, is 5'10" from New London, Connecticut. Somewhat overlooked by the recruiters up there. Rhode Island happy to land him. Well, coming up at halftime of our Rhode Island-Purdue game, Pat O'Brien and Clark Kellogg will have scores and highlights, live look-ins at all of the action going on around the tournament. All ahead on Pennzoil at the half.
I wonder if they'll come after Clark, the coach at Ohio State. I think I'd take it, Clark. You do a good job. You do an excellent job at TV, but I think you'd be better as a coach.
Arababu with 5 points, 37-29, the Rhode Island lead. Well, there's, are you his agent now or what?
No, I just think that, you know, I think it's worth a run. I can remember him. I think he played, I think, under Miller. They had some great teams those years.
Wheeler using the screen at 3.
That is what you call rhythm shooting. It looks like a wild shot, but he's in rhythm.
6 points for Wheeler.
Looking to create a turnover now.
11-point lead now for the Rams. McQuay won't go for him. Miller battling for the rebound. It's grabbed down by Preston Murphy. Murphy. Good feed for Thomas. Giants Thomas.
Nice head fake that time. He faked feeding to the right, and he bounced pass to the left.
The Rams on a run. 42-29. 150.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, the first motor oil to fully meet the new, tougher GF2 standard.
And welcome back to our studios here in New York City. I'm Pat O'Brien along with Clark Kellogg. Welcome to Pennzoil at the Half. Hope you're enjoying our games here on CBS. Villanova and Long Island right now 48-43. Long Island's got a ways to go, a little ways to go. They guaranteed this game.
They certainly, they're playing with a lot of confidence. In our business, when we need to freelance, we call it vamping. Well, in a game when you play a team like LIU that's going to make you play fast, you've just got to make plays. Pass, catch, score the basketball. Villanova did that better the last few minutes of that first half.
Other game at halftime out in Salt Lake City. Boston College now trails Valparaiso by 5, 37-32. Boston College has a veteran group on the floor. We keep saying they're going to make this comeback. What do they got to do now? Well,
they were down 12 at one point, 17-5. Bryce Drew has shot the heck out of the three-point shot. He's going to probably cool off. BC in great position, only down 5 now. It gives their guards a chance to control the second half.
All right, we have some live action for you. It's in Memphis, down at the Pyramid. Rhode Island and Purdue, an 8-9 game. Rhode Island leading 42-31. Al McGuire and Tim Ryan at courtside.
Wheeler hits from the outside. 9 points for him, another three-pointer, 45-31. Rhode Island opening it up on Purdue here. Time winding down, first half in Memphis.
Got to get the ball in the man's hands right here. Austin's got to start to become part of the offense.
That three-pointer from outside from Robinson. That's his third basket.
Or fourth basket, I think. That's a charge, obviously. The man that sacrifices his body every game.
Arababu picks up the charging call. That's 3 personals on him. Arababu comes in for Anderson and had to do so when Anderson picked up 2 early fouls, so he's got 3. Anderson with 2, the big men for Rhode Island. Under a minute to go, first half.
There's 51 seconds to go. If they come down and take a shot quick, then exchange 2 possessions for 1. So they got to take a shot with about 16 seconds. Then they'll end up getting the ball back.
Robinson and Eldridge working the backcourt for Purdue. Cardinal starts backing his way in. Chad Austin. Austin's been cold the first half, their leading scorer. And a foul called on Rhode Island's Mobley. Kansas a winner earlier over the 16 seed Jackson State. They await the winner of Purdue, Rhode Island. Tonight's action here in Memphis, Maryland College of Charleston, a highly anticipated game. Number 4 seed Arizona will take on South Alabama, Bill Musselman's squad. That's our final game tonight for Memphis. Robinson at the line for Purdue.
Robinson hasn't been giving them the numbers they thought they'd get. He's only a freshman, and the problem with a high scorer out of high school, they don't play that much defense, and you don't play unless you play defense for Gene Katie. They went to a 1-3-1 zone, take it down to the last shot.
11-point lead for Rhode Island. Wheeler checks over to Coach Al Skinner. Reynolds Dean missing. Chad Austin rebounds for the Boilermakers. 7 seconds left.
As a mortal sin, he took the shot too soon.
And Austin goes the distance for the hoop.
Come back to haunt you. You make a mistake, it comes back to haunt you. You forgive, but they never forget.
So Rhode Island with a 9-point lead here at the half.
Here comes Austin. They've had him on a snide. When he gets to the open court against the zone, all the way net.
So at the end of the first half, Rhode Island 45, Purdue 36. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.